How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the IGDC podcast, where we talk with creatives, artists, and photographers around the Washington, D.C. area. We're here with Angela Pan. She's a local photographer, and she takes great photos. Her Instagram username is abpanphoto.
Yep.
And we're also here with Holly Gardner, whose username is @GoLightly. I don't know why I added the @ after that one.
I don't either.
Yes.
But it's official.
Also the founder of IGDC. And
At IGDC.
Yes, at IGDC. And if you're unfamiliar with IGDC, we're a photography community, mainly focused around Instagram. And we have a lot of meetups and things like that. So that's how we met Angela, and that's how everybody met each other. And I'm Andy Flaccati. My username is some guy. So first, if you don't follow Angela, first of all, you're making a mistake. Her photos are incredible around the city. She's always up at sunrise while I'm just sleeping. So I'm very impressed with...
all of us are sleeping.
Yeah, everyone's sleeping. So it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so how'd you get into photography initially?
I started when I was in high school. We had to pick electives, and I really just picked my electives based on how I can get the best grades. So I chose photography because I thought I could get an easy A. And I thought it'd be fun just to go around and take pictures of my friends and things like that. But once I actually got into the class, at that time, it was all film. So we were in the dark rooms, we were developing our own film, our own negatives, using the enlargers, using all the chemicals. And it was so much fun. I just became obsessed ever since the very beginning. And then I just remember staying after school, being in the darkroom all the time. Eventually, I evolved to becoming yearbook photo editor and president of the photo club. And so it was like so cool when I was in high school, but I was just all about photo ever since then. And so when I was in high school, I even got an internship at the Smithsonian Natural History Museum in the photo department.
Oh, wow.
So I'm still friends with my mentor, Jim, who's from there. And then when I was in college, I went to art school and then even had a job at Ritz Camera. I don't know if you guys remember Ritz Camera.
Yeah, we remember it.
Yeah, and at that time when I was at Ritz Camera, that's when digital cameras first started coming out. But it was all point and shoot. And it wasn't even that great. It was like 1.2 megapixels or something like that.
Did you see the one with the floppy disk?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that.
It's like 10 photos.
Yeah. And then do you remember when Sony had their own memory stick?
Yes.
I used to hate that about Sony.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I used to have a PSP.
Yeah.
Sony PSP.
So you never played well with others.
Yeah.
But I still don't.
Now, now it's the best camera ever.
Sponsored by Sony.
I wish. Sponsored by
So let's just say you aced the class then, I would guess.
Yeah. Like teacher's pet. Shout out to Miss Morse.
So did you didn't have digital in high school?
No.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
You've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started the same way in high school. Yeah.
But were you digital back then?
Film.
Well, we did a film class, but we didn't do negatives or anything like that. We just went to Costco and then...
oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we got digital and yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I went back to my high school, Amanda Photosynthesis. She was the high school or the photo teacher at my old high school. So she kind of gave me a tour of the old classroom, and it looks completely different. It looks like a computer lab now. It doesn't even look like a photo classroom.
I mean, that makes sense. I feel like now the job is entirely editing and Photoshop related stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So when did you actually join Instagram?
Way past when I feel like everybody else joined. It took me a couple years. Like one of my friends who's not a photographer, she just was on Instagram just for fun. And she was like, why aren't you on Instagram? I just thought it was all like bad filters and food pictures. So I never really thought anything of it. And I think my first picture on Instagram is actually like a picture of me and my nephews. The one after that is probably like me and my husband or something like that. And I didn't really know how to use it. And then probably not until 2014 when I got invited to my first Insta Meet. And that's when I first met you, Andy. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, it's more than just like posting pictures. You can actually meet people from here. And
I think that was my first Insta Meet too. So
was it?
Which one was that?
It was the Department of Interior reopened the elevator.
Yeah.
For the Washington Monument.
Yeah. So that's funny that we had like the same experience. You had to apply to that, which I didn't remember at the time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I thought I just got invited.
Well, okay.
Okay. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Applied,
it was a while ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like now there's no such, you don't apply to go to an Insta Meet, but
yeah.
NASA still does. You still have to apply.
Oh, the Greenbelt one. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's why nobody goes to Insta Meets.
I went to one of their last ones.
Okay, well.
Dave and I did. We registered.
So
how did you, so we know your work being landscape primarily, all around DC. The monuments are a big focal point for you. Has it always been an interest in landscape, or did you just sort of evolve from, you started in high school, I imagine a lot of photography with your friends and around school. How did you get to where you are now with like a special focus on landscape?
It actually started, so I started photography in high school, just took pictures of my friends and would actually go to Great Falls because I'm from this area. So I'd go to Great Falls a lot and take pictures around there. Really loved that there. And some of my favorite pictures I remember from high school were of Great Falls. And then when I was in college, still taking pictures of my friends and things like that. But I think it was not until I graduated, got my first real job, and I was actually taking pictures of my then boyfriend, now husband's cousin's chameleons. He had a chameleon business where he was like breeding and selling chameleons. So I was taking pictures of the chameleons for him, and we were selling calendars and posters and things like that of the chameleons. But then they wanted to sell their business, and I realized I couldn't be like a chameleon photographer for the rest of my life. So I had to like just sit down and really think about what I really loved. And what I love is just traveling and going to new places, seeing new things, and taking pictures of landscapes. So I just started off just taking pictures in the DC area just because I live here and it's so easy, so convenient, and it's so beautiful. It's so easy to just go there and take some really nice pictures. So I guess that's how I just started, and I just like kept on going from there.
So what is a typical day for you of shooting? Do you watch the weather? Do you see what the conditions are going to be like and then make a decision to go out, or do you go out every day?
Definitely. A lot of people think I wake up every day, and I really don't. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
It seems that way, but no.
We're like, oh, there's Angela. There's her photo.
But usually before bed, I'll check the weather. I'll check what the weather's going to be like in the morning. I have these certain apps that I check to see if the weather or the sunrise might be nice. Even if some of those weather apps say it's not going to be good, if I just haven't gone out in a while, I'll still have that urge and feeling of wanting to wake up early and just go out. I just think that waking up early in the morning and being out there, most of the time I'm by myself, is just so peaceful and so calming that it's just... I love it. Yeah. I just do it even whenever.
And how often a week do you think you get out? Would you say you get out to the monuments?
It varies. In the past week, I haven't gone at all. But before that, I was probably going out maybe at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. But before, maybe if you asked me last year, I would have said 4 or 5.
And then if it's something like cherry blossom season, are you out there every day?
Yeah, definitely. Cherry blossoms, I'm out every day.
That's when you make it for sunrise.
Yeah, well, if the app says it's going to be a nice sunrise, but the app is definitely not correct all the time, so you probably get a lot of surprises going out.
Yeah, and then even like I feel like maybe sometime this week because of all this rain, and then it's supposed to get warmer later on in the week, that maybe we get some fog, and that will be really cool. And the app will say it will be like 0 color, but still go out and take pictures of fog.
Yeah, I've never been able to decipher when the fog will come, or you always get those crazy fog shots.
Yeah, you just practice, I think. I'll text you next time.
Fog time.
Yeah.
At 5 a.m. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm checking my phone.
Yeah.
So what camera do you primarily shoot on?
With my Sony.
Oh, okay.
A7 II. Yeah. And I just recently got a 70-200, and I've been shooting a lot with that lens.
Yeah.
Love it.
Did you have that for your Canon?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
And then actually with my Canon, I wasn't shooting with it a lot because just with the body and the lens just made everything so heavy.
Yeah. So I can see that. The Canon one is absolutely massive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So now with the Sony and then using this 70-200, it's a lot easier and just like it.
Yeah.
Like shooting with it a lot more.
So after you go out in the morning and you shoot, like what do you normally do to edit the photos like afterwards?
Do
you edit immediately after you take the photos? Usually?
Sometimes. I used to go like immediately right after, but now I've become more relaxed. I just take my time in editing. Sometimes if it's like I can't get it right where I want it, I'll maybe take a break for a little bit and go. But are you asking me about like what programs I use?
Yeah.
Okay. So lately I have been using Lightroom a lot more. I never did before, and now I'm starting to see the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But I'll still use Lightroom and then still go into Photoshop to like minor tweak things. Sometimes I'll just before I was just primarily using Photoshop.
Yeah.
And then that would
the
be
healing brush alone in Photoshop is
yeah.
yeah.
And do you primarily do all your editing on your laptop?
Yes. Yeah.
No phone editing?
No.
Now, what filter do you primarily use on the in Instagram?
On Instagram, actually, I don't. I just use my Photoshop filters.
Oh, so you have like pre-made actions that you typically do?
No, I don't. I just use the on one or not on one. What is it called?
Preset panel or the?
No, it's the Google filters.
Oh,
it's
Nick's collection.
Nick collection. Yeah. Yeah, I'll use Nick collection most of the time.
Yeah, like the sharpening, or is there like a filter?
And pro contrast, I'll use darken outside, lighten inside one. There's a glamour glow one. Just it depends on the picture. Really,
they stopped making that though, right?
They still have updates. I remember updating it the other day.
Maybe they said they were going to do, and then now it's back or something. I don't know.
I don't
remember when they made it for free. Like
yeah,
it was like a paid program.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar, Holly. It's like
I'm not familiar.
Oh, okay.
I do most of my editing on my phone.
Oh, okay. Like a true Instagrammer.
A true Instagrammer. So, what would you suggest? Like, what is the shot, since you are so familiar with the monuments down on the mall?
Mm-hmm.
What is the shot that you want to get, but you have yet to get? Is there a shot that's still there to be captured that none of us can get?
Yes, there's so many.
Like, tell us.
Ooh, off the top of my head.
The elusive shot that you haven't captured.
Oh, shoot. I know there's so many. Wait, can I just look at my my saved collections real quick?
Oh,
because I know there's so many. For DC?
And then that
for DC,
raises another question.
Yeah.
Like, aside from Instagram, how else what other tools are you using to get your work out for public consumption? Do you use Flickr? Do you use...
I know I've seen your photos on Google Plus a couple times.
Yeah, I'm on...
Google Plus is still around?
I do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
It's oddly very photography oriented. It's oddly enough.
And oddly enough, Google Plus is like my biggest following.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And I have no idea.
Huh.
On the IGDC podcast, we're promoting Google Plus. So go and download the Google Plus.
Set up your profile tomorrow.
So, Google Plus, LinkedIn, Flickr, SmugMug, Pinterest, Facebook, and I have my own blog that I blog every Monday through Friday. YouTube, pretty much everywhere except for like 500px.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised you don't post there, but...
Yeah. I don't know why. I never got into it. Maybe I just need someone to convince me of why.
Yeah. Or just automate it all and ruin the entire flow.
Do you do Flickr?
No, I haven't uploaded anything else in a while.
You used to, right?
Do you still take photos?
Yeah, I may have not posted in a couple of months, but I have taken some photos.
Okay, so the elusive DC images that I still want to get, I still really want to get a really nice one from the plane, from flying out of DCA.
You really haven't gotten that?
I have, but nothing that I was like super happy with.
The worst is when you get on there and you have the wing. You're like, no.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can make it work. But,
yeah.
Jen Burnett seems to have a knack for those photos. She always can capture. She always has the best seat.
What's her username?
Jen Burnett.
Yeah. I would say she gets it a lot. She gets it a lot.
Yeah, she does. And I really want to get a really nice moonshot over the monuments. I haven't gotten like one
that 200
really
millimeter would be really good.
Yeah, that's what I need to get.
I always see these moonshots and I'm just like, are these photoshopped every time? Because it's always
I don't
huge
think so.
moon.
Yeah, but today is actually a full moon. Oh. But because it's so rainy that we won't be able to see it. Yeah, and I'm here.
She sacrificed the elusive shot of the moon to be with you all today.
Next month.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten the moonshot, but that's
something I want to get.
Especially when that's what's that, red moon or
the harvest, the harvest moon.
Yeah.
Every time I see that, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Were you here during the eclipse, or did you chase it to one of the better viewpoints?
I was here, but I didn't photograph it.
No.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much to photograph.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I don't know.
I feel like you had to be like on the West Coast, like in Oregon,
Yeah.
like that one photographer who got that amazing one with the silhouette, and then
the
one
rock
in
climber?
back. Yeah,
Michael Shainblum, I think,
yes.
was the primary
Yes.
photographer.
is that who it was?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That wasn't
Yeah.
a shot.
If you don't follow him, he also has
Yeah.
crazy nature photos. But
Props.
it's not DC related at all. But it's very beautiful.
So good.
So what would be your favorite place in DC to photograph? Or
Whenever anyone asks me that, I always just say default Lincoln Memorial, just because you go to Lincoln
it
Memorial.
really is the best.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, you go to the reflecting pool, you got the Vietnam veterans, the Korean War Memorial, and there's just so much in that just small vicinity right there.
Yeah. And it's under construction though now. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a few years before it.
Is it really years?
I think
What?
so. I think it's going to be under construction. It's like phases. So they're starting with the backside, and then I think they move.
You can't even walk around it right now.
Yeah.
Which I went
They're
there and I
gonna-
was like, oh.
It's going to be a big renovation. So
that's
I don't
one
know
of my
how
favorite
long it's
spots.
going to be, but it's going to be.
Do you know what they're actually doing?
I think they're doing all kinds of. They're doing roof work. They're doing cleaning. They're doing
Basement?
like basement foundation work. I don't know. What
So
all they're
everything.
doing. They have the guy who gave money for the Washington Monument. I think also gave money for this renovation.
Oh.
So they're using.
It's amazing they need someone to donate money to do renovations.
I mean, there's so many renovations that need to be done just because. Have you guys been to the tidal basin when it's all super flooded?
Oh, it's always flooded.
crazy.
It's gotten really bad.
It's gotten really bad.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I was there like a week ago and it was pretty much every aspect was flooded and muddy and
Yeah.
it's a basin, so they could probably close off one end.
Yeah, I think based on just your photos, that's when I know. That's how I know what the tidal basin is under.
Yeah. And then
Condition.
it can't be good for the cherry blossom trees.
No, they're gonna have to deal with it
Oh,
eventually.
I didn't think about that.
because-
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trimmed a lot of
Because it's
them
not
too
gonna
this
be
year, and that really annoyed me.
better.
Do they?
Yeah,
Well, I
like
think that's to keep them healthy, though.
yeah, I guess, but I like when they overhang. When they overhang to the water,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
they like trimmed a lot of the primarily spots like that.
Well, what is your favorite season to shoot in the city?
Spring. Spring. Definitely. The flowers just make everything come alive. I love it. Yeah.
You don't like the winter? It's great, all cold. And
You know,
you wake up for sunrise during the winter.
I do. And actually, I think colder weather and colder environments make for better pictures. I just don't like the cold.
Yeah,
But I do it.
I do like how no one is out when it's cold. That's a lot, huge benefit.
I have noticed that in the DC area that in the wintertime, we do have a lot more foggier days. Have you guys ever noticed that?
I haven't noticed that.
In the winter,
Yeah, in the wintertime.
I don't wake up early, so I'm like, no. Unclear.
So,
Did you notice on the Jefferson Memorial, they have like a little bit of it cleaned on top?
just that one strip.
It's the most annoying thing
It is
ever.
so annoying.
Apparently,
Yeah.
like normal clean agents will like destroy the roof, so they're like testing out elements. But
Because they don't, that black stuff that's on the surface, they don't know what it is. They can't figure out how to get it off. And so
Really?
they're testing.
Yeah.
So there's another part of the monument that's on the bottom, like by the grass, that's kind of not really a well-known spot. It's not something highly visible. They were doing test strips all last year, trying to test out different
Oh.
not chemicals.
and you can see
but-
that like if you walk there. Oh wow.
Interesting.
So I think they must have found one of those worked pretty well, and so
And
they did that.
and then
strip.
did one
know.
strip a year.
I don't know if it's going to be a year. I think they're just testing it out to see how it takes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if it grows back, or because I think it's some sort of I don't know if it's a fungus or a mold or a.
I would just pour some bleach on there and just hope
Call
for
it
the
a
best.
day.
Yeah. They could replace the roof, I'm sure. That'd be cool photos though.
That would be cool.
With the roof off for like a week.
That would be really
That'd be
cool.
really like what?
Yeah. Do you remember when the monument was all full of scaffolding? Did you guys like that?
Yeah. Did we like it or see it?
Both.
I liked it.
I thought
you
it was,
didn't like it.
I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. Just weird.
I thought it was better than the Capitol
The
scaffolding.
Capitol was awful.
yeah, I
Capitol
don't
That
like
was terrible. I'm
But
so
the
happy to
Lincoln-
see that go.
The Lincoln. I just really don't like that one.
Yeah, that one is
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
But you can, though, I feel like walking to the edge there on the Lincoln. That's like one of my favorite
Yeah.
photos that you can take.
Yeah.
With the columns and the Washington Monument.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, no tourists go back there, which doesn't make sense to me.
The
but-
backside to
And it-
overlook the bridge.
Yeah, or like even on the edge, like any of the edges, or
Yeah.
because you can walk all the way around there.
Yeah. That was really cool about the Lincoln.
And speaking of the Lincoln Memorial, your photo is in the gift shop.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it is.
That's right.
Yes.
You have a whole catalog of items.
Yeah. It was
So what do they have
exciting.
now that people can buy Angela Pan's work on?
They have postcards and they have 8x10 prints.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't see the prints.
Yeah.
Just the
Awesome.
postcards.
And how does that make you feel when you think about all these tourists that go every day and they pick up your stuff? I mean, isn't that incredible
It's
as a
crazy.
photographer to think that
I can't even
walking
imagine.
off with your stuff?
I
and
feel like I've
paying
gone.
good money for it.
Yeah, I feel like I've gone to other national parks before because I've never really gone to the gift shops in the National Mall before because I've never really wanted
I didn't
it.
even know there was one in the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah,
In the
me
basement,
neither.
right?
No, it's actually when you walk up the steps, you turn to the right and it's right there. So yeah, I'd go to other national parks and see other photographers being featured in those gift stores. I was like, how can I get featured in a gift store? You know, in the National Mall, I have so many pictures and things like that. So actually it coming true is crazy. I still can't imagine. And every time I go to the National Mall now, I just like want to go peek through because it's still the same.
Yeah. Well, so
I just
how did
don't wanna
that
go
come
look.
about? Did they approach you? Did you approach them to say, I have these photos? Are you interested in possibly, like, how did it come to be?
I
Or do
think
you
it was
care to
kind
share
of a midway thing. Like the Trust for the National Mall approached me and a few other photographers in the DC area about doing a cherry blossom takeover in 2017. So I did that and then just kept in contact with the contact at Trust for the National Mall. And then every year I always have a calendar. And so I sent them a calendar. I was like, oh, loved working with you. Remember my name. And
Here's
so,
a little something.
yeah, exactly. So I sent them a calendar and they came up with the idea of having postcard, or actually I think the original idea was actually carrying the calendar in there. But, and then they said that the calendar would have to go through this long approval process and things like that. And it would be quicker if we could just do postcards and prints from now on. And I was like, yeah, sure.
That's surprising.
It is surprising.
They need approval.
Because I think everything in those gift stores are supposed to be educational. So it had to have some kind of educational.
Like overlays to the
Exactly.
calendar.
So if you read the postcards, the back of the postcards, there's some information about the Lincoln Memorial or the Washington Monument or whatever is on the front of.
Oh, I never realized that. That's
Yeah.
now every time I go into a national park, is it any national park or?
I think so.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look and be like, oh, I'm learning.
Yeah. So they had to be approved by MPS in order for me to actually get into those gift stores.
And you also have that explains why your book probably isn't in there, or
Yes,
Yeah.
because that has,
For everyone who doesn't know, Angela has also made a book of how to photograph DC.
yeah, it's called Snap DC and it's available on Amazon. And it's all about everything that I've learned throughout the years of photographing the Washington monuments and just other favorite places in the DC area. And so that would be an even longer approval process, I feel like, 'cause they were going to nitpick everything.
Every time you're out though and you see other photographers, what's the biggest mistake you see people make while they're in DC?
That they stand in the same place. Like they will stand at the reflecting pool in the dead center for
Hey.
the whole sunrise. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Wait, do they dangle their
Walk
feet in
around
front of
with their red shoes on? But they'll just stay in the same place for like an hour. Is that what you do,
snap,
Andy?
snap, snap.
That's what I do. I don't see a problem with that.
I think you need to move around and like try different angles and try different things.
This is why I'm not.
So
in the gift
why
shop.
do you stay in one place?
Yeah.
Do you think you've got the spot, so you have to stay there to get the
I
shot?
like the symmetrical
Are you
photos.
worried about like losing the shot if you move around?
I think just it being symmetrical.
But you can be symmetrical further back too.
I guess, but then you get the guy who moves up to the front middle spot. You're like, oh, that's the nice part of being right at the water.
Yeah.
Where no one ever.
stands in front of you.
So when you go to the Capitol, same thing.
Yeah, you always got to get in the middle. You want to get in the middle, unless you're on the east side of the Capitol. Then you get near those reflective edges of those reflective things.
So do you move between those two reflective things?
I usually go whichever direction the sun is doing its thing. It's usually like definitely a beneficial way to go. Yeah. South side, sunset.
So back to Snap DC, I just wanted to mention too, if you want to tell us a little bit about your book, what it basically is, everything you've learned, and it's any photographer or budding photographer can pick up your book, go to the mall and say, okay, if I want to get a sunset shot, Angela tells me I should go here, here, or here.
Yes.
And then go from there. So it's a really hands-on, very easy to follow tool and resource for photographers who are new to the area.
Exactly.
Or people who know the area really well, but they don't visit the monuments as much as you do.
To be honest, I had like a person like me in mind when I was writing it. Like whenever I go to a new place, like if I've never been to Philadelphia or if I've never been to New York, I will spend hours researching wherever I wanted to go, find the coolest pictures, look through Instagram, look through Pinterest, all these different places, all these different sources to find the best pictures that I can take, maximize my time while I'm in that area. So this book is really for those same kind of photographers who just want to maximize their time, take the best shots that they can, just really quick, easy reference book to guide them around the city and take those kind of pictures.
No, I think it's great because it also, you really dig into like what time you go, you should go to these spots, which is really helpful when you don't know the lighting and the time frame.
And the camera settings are on most of the photos too.
Camera settings are there. I even have parking suggestions because believe it or not, a lot of people always ask me about parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I will say like, because I grew up in College Park, so a lot of times coming down here was really like intimidating, but now that I live in the city, it's like, oh, parking everywhere is easy. Like, don't let that be your limiting factor.
I agree. Yeah,
like,
I agree.
But when you're from like not in the area, you're like, oh, it's confusing.
It's confusing, and our DC signs are not the most clear. So it's intimidating.
It's like, just get the Park Mobile app.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw it, they have availability now on the Park Mobile app.
No,
I didn't.
You can like see like what areas have open spots, kind of.
That's cool.
They charge you $1 a month to do that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, which I do. So
have you tried it?
Yeah.
Is it accurate?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Andy loves to subscribe to things.
Yes, I'm subscribing to as many services. Upcoming the IGDC $10 a month club.
There you go. No.
What does $10 get you?
No, I'm just.
Oh, I was like, what is this?
IGDC is free.
IGDC is always free. Always inclusive.
Messaging rates may apply. But yeah, it just kind of like shows, the Park Mobile zones, it just shows like a line of a color.
Oh.
So like if it's very full, it'll be red. But you can kind of like scroll over the map and like see kind of where people aren't parking.
So like when there's a hockey game, it's going to be all red around.
Yeah. But it's not like a heat map. It's like exactly in that little strip, like each little, it's like very detailed.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now you know. Or you just wake up at sunrise and not worry about anything ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
You pretty much have your way with anything in the
at
sunrise. If you can get yourself up and get out at sunrise, the city is your playground. I mean, it's like you can go anywhere.
You just put your hazards on and you just go right in the middle of the reflecting pool and you just
The few times that I do it, I'm always just like, why don't I do this more often? I can get myself out.
Yeah, if you're a photographer in DC, it's definitely you definitely should get out and check it out. Yeah, because every time I do it, it's an incredible experience.
It is.
Yeah,
it really is.
And I imagine you run into people now more than that you know.
Yeah, like sometimes
now because there's so many photographers in the city, and we all know each other now. A good number of us do. So I feel like you run into people a lot, and I see it on social media. Like, oh, she saw Jarrett.
Oh my God, I run into Jarrett all the time. Yeah, it's so funny. We never make plans to meet up with each other. We just run into each other all the time.
Also a morning person.
Yeah,
loves it.
Shout out Jared Hendricks.
His username is just Jared Hendricks, I think.
Yeah,
or
Jared.
Dot.
Jared.
Is it Dot?
I think it's Dot.
It's
I think there is a dot in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he takes a lot of nature.
Architecture,
architecture,
everything.
He does, he's got his creative photos that he's been doing. Like his imaginary places.
I always think about that car.
Yes, places that don't exist.
Yeah.
Hi, Jarrett.
Now, if we don't get a message about that, excuse us.
So, do you have any plans coming up? Like any things you're trying to attempt with photography that you're trying to look for, change, new lenses? Are you doing anything with
a second book?
Yeah. Anything like what's coming up for Angela this year?
Yeah, I think in the past year, I've really kind of tried to push myself, and I've been doing a lot more street, especially when I'm traveling, taking a lot more street photography, images. I don't have a prime lens, and I think that my next lens is going to be a prime and try to experiment a little bit more with portraiture because I don't really do that either. And obviously, it's going to always still be monuments, always sunrise. But yeah, I think also exploring new places in the DC area, not just the National Mall, would be really interesting too. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you're getting into street. I'm very intimidated by street as well. And prime lenses, Dave, my husband Dave, uses a lot of prime lenses, and they intimidate me because I like the versatility of being able to control your depth. And
I love primes. I don't know. Yeah.
You do shoot
It's
with primes
basically
primarily, right?
Yeah. Well, 16 to 35 is my only exception, really. But that lens is just awesome, though. I love that wide. If there was a 16 millimeter prime, I would get that.
What prime lenses do you have?
The 14 millimeter, which I hate that.
Why?
It just is so wide and pointless. 24 millimeter, which a lot of my older photos were taken on that, and I really like that lens. I just wish there was like a 20 or like something in between. Then I have the 85, which I also hate that.
Why do you hate the 85?
It's just so zoomed. I don't know, like it's just so zoomed in, and it's definitely good for portraits. But it's so I just like getting the grand. Like you can't get the same photos, just like very grand. You know, you can see everything going on. I guess that's why I like the 16.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us, Angela.
Yeah, this is fun.
Thank you for coming.
This was awesome.
This was fun. We learned a lot.
Thanks.
We look forward to your photos.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And be sure to follow Angela. Her username is abpanphoto. And her website is abpan.com.
Yep.
And you can find her on
Google,
Flickr.
and Google+.
LinkedIn. Right?
YouTube.
Pinterest.
MySpace.
YouTube.
MySpace. Yeah, I was definitely on there too.
Hey, I was too.
Yeah, all of those places. All of them is ABPan photo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for
Can
talking to
people
us.
go to your website and link to all of these things? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the hub. You can go to pretty much everything there.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, Twitter.
Oh yeah. This is also an Instagram podcast.
Oh, okay. Instagram. Instagram stories.
Do you have more than one account on Instagram?
I do.
What are your other accounts?
Ooh.
Are you willing to share them with us?
Okay, so my dog has an Instagram at Frankenstein Wupan.
Nice.
And then I've never really told anyone this. I have an iPhone only Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Did you guys know?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll hashtag it SnapDC, and some people have found me on there. But yeah, it's an iPhone only. I think it's abpa.n.
Oh, I may have seen that. I may have seen that.
abpa.n.
Yeah, p.a.n.
There's so many Angela Pans out there. Can I tell you?
Really?
It is so hard to find an Angela Pan or even Angela B Pan variation. So that was like the only name that I could find without a number in it.
Yeah, the number is like the death of your account.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
no.
do not want a number.
You're like 4, no. ABPan 8.
Yeah. I think even my
87.
Facebook is Angela-Pan-3.
Oh.
I know.
But Instagram's all that matters, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been fun.
It was.
Yeah, and thanks for listening. Okay, Holly cut me off rudely.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thanks for listening, and remember to tag your photos to IGDC and check out IGDC on Instagram. The username is IGDC, obviously. Yeah, so have a good one.
IGDC.
At IGDC. Check it out. Thanks again to Angela for joining
This
us.
was fun. Thank you, guys.